No change at the top of the table over in League One, of course, as games this weekend were kiboshed, of course, in mark of respect for Your Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II, of course. But action returns this midweek. Who's going to take full advantage? We're going to take a look at it, all of it, next. That's right, folks. Bounce game another prediction video today. We're forward to match day number 8 or 9, depending on how you look at it. Of course, as action returns in League One this coming midweek. Of course, who's going to take full advantage to try and hunt down Ipswich leading the pack? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. And if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, bang up to all things Rovers related, League One related, World Cup related later this year. That's right, of course. Lots of action still to be had, of course, this season in domestic and, of course, World Cup itself. So anyway, let's get cracking and take a look at this. It is League One, of course, and we are talking about these games which were supposed to anyway take place this weekend. But of course, I think it was the right decision. You guys might not think it's the right decision, but I think, as a mark of respect, games were cancelled and are going to be rescheduled later down the road. So I believe this was the right decision. I know a lot of people disagree. So these picks will have to wait. We'll have to wait on this one, and we'll do it all again whenever they come around, of course. So this, as you were really at the top of the table, Ipswich lead the charge, 17 points on the board, with Pompey in second. Plymouth doing A-OK into third. Wednesday, Cambridge, Peterborough make up the chasing pack. Burton, Morecambe, Cheltenham, Forest Green Rovers, the Vegans are heading down to League Two at the moment. That's, of course, the predictor of the month. We already know about that. Of course, Riley Turton has another week sitting pretty at the top of this table. He also has another week sitting second behind Shane O'Donnell last round. 37 points on the board for him heading into this, of course. So those are the situations that I left you with. And, of course, they're as they were then. But, of course, if you want to get involved with the Prediction League, it is 100% free. So please do so. Head over here, cut/League One, and we'll see who has got the right noggin on the head for these games. That's right. The midweek games, of course, coming at you this coming midweek, and we're going to jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look at it, starting with, of course, the Pirelli Stadium. It is Burton. Should I say, is it managerless Burton? I think they hired somebody, Manima, of course, coming at you over at Burton, taking on Pompey, of course. Pitched 11 times in 2013, 3 wins for Burton, 4 for Pompey, and we've got 4 draws, of course, just 1 and 6 for Burton right now, 25% form, up against the Pompey side, who've won 2, lost 2 over the last 4, 67% form over the last 6. Last round, over in Burton, it was a 2-1 win for Burton back in September 2021, and Burton picking up a 2-1 loss against Oxford, of course, Pompey with a 2-1 win over Peterborough last time. And the odds right here, right now, at the Pirelli, we'll see Burton 16-5 with the victory, 2017 on is your Portsmouth, and 5-2 is your draw. Will there be a new manager bounce for Burton? I don't think so, not this game anyway. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Pompey, which of course will keep them in the mix to maybe be outright leaders and yet to taste defeat this season in League One. Next, of course, we have Charlton Athletic coming at you at the Vale up against the Vegans. That's right, played each other just the one time. It's actually been 1 win out of 1 for Forest Green Rovers over Charlton, of course. Charlton, no, 67% form for them, just 1 defeat of the past 6 up against the Forest Green side, who won twice out of the last 3 games, 33% form of the last 6. Last time around, of course, over at the Vale, it was in the EFL Cup back in August 2019. It was a 5-3 win for Forest Green. It might have been after penalties. The Vegans, though, come to get the 2-1 win over Accrington. Stanley, of course, Charlton with a 3-1 loss against Bolton, of course. The odds right here, right now, we've got what we've got going on. Charlton 2019 on for the victory, 5-2 draw, 3-1 is your away win right here. Charlton coming at you in 12th. A win for them could mathematically see them up to 6th, with the Vegans down into 21st. With a win, could actually see them leapfrog above Charlton all the way up to maybe 10th in the table. Is that tight at the foot of the table? And I see this one being a 2-0 win there for Charlton with 3 points in the bag over at the Valley. Next, of course, we have Cheltenham Town. They're going to be taking on, of course, Cambridge in the Battle of the Seas. That's right, played each other 17 times in 2003, 6 wins for Cheltenham, 7 wins for Cambridge, and we've got 4 draws, of course. Just 1 defeat at the past 5 for Cheltenham right now, 50% form for them. That's 1-2 lost 2 and drawn 2. Up against the Cambridge side, have won twice, and the last 6, 42% form for them moving forward. Cheltenham, of course, coming at you in 22nd spot with Cambridge up as high as 5th right now. Last time around, though, in Cheltenham, it was a 5-0 win. Oh my gosh, a 5-0 draw back in December 2021. Of course, Cheltenham picking up a 2-2 draw against Port Vale, with Cambridge picking up a 2-0 win over Lincoln heading into this game. Of course, the odds right here right now at the Battle of the Seas, it's 31-20 is your Cheltenham, 70-10 is your away win, 12-5 is your draw. Going to go either way, could go either way on this one. Going to go with the 2-1 win for Cambridge on this one, 3 points in the bag, and that potentially could see them go 3rd in the table, of course. And could they be in the mixer? Realistic candidates for promotion, we'll have to see about that. Barnsley, of course, up against Port Vale. Let's take a long hard look at this one now. Played 23 times times in 1984, 7 wins for Barnsley, 11 wins for Port Vale, 5 draws, of course. Just 1 win and 5 though for Barnsley right now, 42% form. Up against Port Vale side, won twice the last 4 games, 50% form over the last 6. That's 1-2 lost to and drawn to, of course. Last round though, over in Oakwell, it was a 2-1 win for Port Vale back in November 2015. That was in League One. That's right. Port Vale with a 2-2 draw against Cheltenham. Barnsley with a 2-0 win over Sheffield Wednesday last round as well. The odds on this one, what we got here, Barnsley 11-10 for the victory, 5-2 is your away win, and 12-5 is the draw. Back in Barnsley here, 2-0 win for them, and that could see them go as high as 4th in the table. Meanwhile, Morecambe up against Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, Morecambe are in a bit of trouble. Sheffield Wednesday need to get themselves back into contention for automatics, of course. Coming at you at the Globe, I think that's what it's called, or the Aztec, it was one of them two. Anyway, played each other 3 times to 11, 1 for Morecambe, 2 for Sheffield Wednesday, 0 draws, of course. 50% form for Morecambe right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to. Up against the Sheffield Wednesday side, who've got back-to-back defeats, 50% form for them as well, winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6 games. Last time around, though, over in Morecambe was a 1-0 win for Morecambe back in the 28th of August. Good day in this house, of course, 2021. Morecambe picking up a 2-2 draw against Bristol Rovers. Wednesday losing, of course, to Barnsley at home. The odds on this one, then, shall we got Morecambe 5-1 for the victory, 3-1 is your draw, 20-11 on is your Wednesday. So they're favoured to win this game. 2-1 win for me. Big win for Wednesday, even against the run of things with the Morecambe side, who can be difficult to play against. Meanwhile, Ipswich Town, the leaders at the moment, coming at you up against Bristol Rovers. Barnes boys, of course, coming at you at Portman Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 5 times to 2012. 4 wins to Ipswich, 1 for Bristol Rovers, and got 0 draws, of course. Ipswich, though, winning 5 of the last 6. 92% form for them, unbeaten, of course, in that last 6. Up against the Bristol Rovers side, without a win in 5. 33% form for them, moving forward as well. Last time around, they're over at Portman Road. It was a 2-1 win for Ipswich back in April 2021. That was in League One. Of course, Bristol Rovers pick up a 2-2 draw against Morecambe. Ipswich with the 2-0 win over Accrington, and back-to-back clean sheets, of course. 8 goals in the last 2 games combined. The odds on this one then, shall we? Ipswich 2-1 for the victory. That's 2-1 on, 3-1 as your draw, 6-1 as your away win. That's of course Bristol bloody Rovers. 2-0 win for me for whatever they call them. Ipswich to take their 3 points and remain top of the table, of course, matching that of Pompey, of course, even a better goal difference than them so far. Next, of course, down at Sincilbank is Lincoln City up against Derby. That's right, coming at you. Played each other twice, these two sides, 1 win apiece since 2004. Lincoln, though, just 1 defeat past 4 games, 58% form with the last 6. Up against the Derby County side, just 1 defeat at the past 6 for them, 67% form for them moving forward. Last time around, though, over at Sincilbank, it was a 3-1 win for Lincoln back in August 2004. It's been a long, long time, guys. Meanwhile, Derby with a 3-2 loss against Plymouth. Lincoln with a 2-0 loss against Cambridge, of course, last time around. The odds on this Badgerino, we've got, what we got going on here? We've got Lincoln coming at you 3-1 for the victory, 11-10 on is your Derby, 12-5 is your draw. Smells like a draw. No, it doesn't. 2-1 win in the end for Derby on this one. Back in the away side here, 2-1 win, 3 points in the bag, and moving the chains as well. MK Dons taking on Bolton Wanderers, coming at you at the Stadium MK. Played each other 14 times in 1995. 4 wins to MK Dons, 5 wins to Bolton, and we've got 5 draws as well. Back-to-back defeats for MK Dons right now, 58% form. Up against the Bolton side, we've won 3 of the last 6, 50% form, of course, heading into this last round over at the Stadium MK. Was a 2-0 win indeed. They're actually unbeaten against Bolton over the last 3 occasions, pick up a couple of wins and a draw to boot. Bolton did pick up a 3-1 over Charlton. MK Dons did lose to Exeter last round. That was back on September the 3rd. The odds on this one, we have MK Dons 6-4 for the victory, 7-4 is your Bolton, 23-10 is your draw. Could be tight, tight. Going to go with a 2-0 win there for MK Dons, 3 points in the bag, and that could see them go from 18th all the way up to 10th spot in the bloody league. Of course, that's the state to play there. Peterborough need to get themselves back in the mixer as well. They're down to 6 right now up against the Fleetwood Town side, who are in 15th, of course, coming at you from Peterborough this coming weekend. Played each other on the midweek, should I say. Played each other 14 times in 2014. 7 wins for Posh, 5 wins for Fleetwood, 2 draws, of course. 4 defeats in the spin for Posh right now. 33% form for them up against the Fleetwood Town side without a win in the last 7 games. 33% form for Scotty Brown's boys. That's right, last time around over at Posh, it was a 2-1 win for Posh back in September 2020. In fact, Peterborough back-to-back wins over Fleetwood last time, a couple of occasions, but they come into on the back of the 2-1 loss to Pompey. Fleetwood with a draw against Wycombe last time around, but this time is down at Peterborough, and of course the odds 20-13 on is your Peterborough, 3-1 is your draw, 70-4 is your Fleetwood Town. 3-1 win, comfortable win, 3 points in the bag, and 3 goals to put in the mixer as well, and that potentially could put them into 3rd in the table. But currently in 3rd is Plymouth. They're taking on Oxford, of course, down at the South West. Played each other 20 times to 2011, 5 wins to Plymouth, 12 wins to Oxford, 3 draws as well. Plymouth though winning 5 of the last 6, 83% form for them right now, up against the Oxford side, who won 3 on the spin, 58% form for them moving forward as well. Last round though at Plymouth, it was a 1-0 win for Plymouth. In fact, Plymouth did the back-to-back wins over Oxford last season, of course, but they're coming into this on the back of a 3-2 win over Derby. Meanwhile, Oxford with a 2-1 win over Burton, of course. But the odds here, 5-4 is your Plymouth, 11-5 is your Women, and 12-5 is your draw here. Back in a 2-0 win for the Green Army here. 3 points in the bag, and that potentially could see them go top of the table, depending on what goes on at Ipswich and what goes on at Pompey. None the same. Into the final 2 is Shrewsbury up against Exeter, of course, down down at Gay Meadow, am I right? Played each other 8 times since 2003. 3 was for Shrewsbury, 2 for Exeter, 3 draws, of course. Just 1 with a 6 for Shrewsbury now, 33% form. Up against the Exeter side, just 1 with a 5, 42% form for them moving forward into this one. Shrewsbury pick up a 4-0 win last time around. That was at Shrewsbury back in April 2015. That was in League 2. Shrewsbury pick up a 2-0 win over the Vegans last time around, with Exeter with a 1-0 win over MK Dons. The odds here, of course, Shrewsbury coming at you 70-10, 70-10 is your Exeter, and 21-10 is your draw. I'm back in a 1-1 draw right in the middle here. I cannot call it. Can you? Let me know down below. And then wrap it up. Is Wycombe. It is Accrington Stanley down at Adams Park. Now these two sides have played each other 25 times, 2006. 6 wins for Wycombe, 9 wins for Accrington, and 10 draws as well. 50% form for Wycombe right now, 1-2 lost to, and draw 2 up against Accrington Stanley side. Just 1 win and 6, then 42% form for them moving forward. Last time around, over in Wycombe, it was a 2-1 win for Wycombe back in August 2021. And Accrington just 1 defeat against them, against Wycombe over the last 6 occasions. That was that last match over at Adams Park. However, Accrington coming to this, they'll get the 2-1 loss against the Vegans. Of course, Wycombe with a 1-1 draw against Fleetwood. Of course, the odds here, 2019 on is your Wycombe, 5-2 is your 3-1 is your away win. That is, of course, Accrington Stanley. I'm back in, of course, Wycombe to get a 1-0 win. Just enough over the line, break the hoodoo. 3 points in the bag, and that should see Wycombe go from 14th, potentially up as high as 7th. In the table. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. As you can see, Pompey still up there with Ipswich in the automatic spots. Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, Cambridge and Peterborough in the top 6. Going down, Burton, Morecambe, Cheltenham and Forest Green. I think it is pretty much as you were at the top and at the bottom. It's just a mixture of teams in the bottom. If you want to get your picks in, please do so as well. It's 100% free, of course. Get your name in lights, of course, next time around. And we'll be back for the next games, whenever that is. Now, of course, we are looking like that these games in the midweek will take place. But there is an underlying gut feeling that the weekend games coming at you after these games are going to be postponed. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, we'll probably find out closer to Wednesday, Thursday, if those games on the weekend will be kibosh. Whether or not, we'll be there. Of course, looking forward to the games, and of course, if so, we'll be back for another prediction league prediction video for you for them. But until then, guys and girls, make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell. But until then, boys and girls, we're out.